Imagine this. It's Thursday afternoon and your transmission just died. The mechanic says that'll be $500. Your rent is due next week and your lights are due in 3 days. And your checking account, let's just say if it had a heartbeat, it'll be on life support. You don't have a credit card, the bank says no, and your family just can't help. Then you see an ad.
Need $500 today? No credit? No problem. Walk out with cash in minutes.
And in that moment, it doesn't feel like a loan. It feels like a lifeline. But what if that $500 turns into one of the most expensive financial decisions you ever made? I am not a financial advisor, and this is just practical guidance. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to CWM University, where we learn together. And today, we're going to follow one person's story and break down exactly how payday loan fees work. I will show you the math behind them and explain why so many people find themselves trapped in this cycle of debt. Our character today is Mike. Mike isn't lazy. Mike isn't irresponsible. He's not bad with money. He's just having a really bad week. His transmission failed and he needs his car to get to work. And missing work, for Mike, that's not an option. Without transportation, there is no paycheck. So Mike starts searching for quick cash. That's when he finds a payday loan. He thinks, I only need $500 for 2 weeks. What's the worst that could happen? What is a payday loan, you may ask? A payday loan is a short-term loan that's usually expected to be paid within a short period of time. Let's say 2 weeks. It's designed to help with emergencies. The biggest sell point for a payday loan is how fast you can get the cash and its accessibility. You can often get the cash really quick. Most lenders don't make a big deal about your credit score like a bank does. That sounds great until you look at the cost. Most payday lenders charge a flat rate per $100 that you borrow. So let's just say, for example, I borrowed $100, but I'm going to owe them $15 for every 100 that I borrowed. So Mike borrows $100. So that's 5 groups of 100, and for every $100 that he borrows, that's $15. So 15 times 5, that's a $75 fee for the $500 that Mike needs to fix his transmission. So when payday arrives, Mike doesn't owe $500. Mike owes $575. At first, that doesn't sound terrible. After all, it's only $75, right? But here's what commercials usually don't show. 2 weeks later, Mike gets paid. Continue. Success, right? But life keeps happening. His paycheck has to cover rent, utilities, insurance, gas, groceries, their phone bill. And remember, he already spent $500 fixing that transmission. And now that payday loan is due. Now let's look at Mike's bills. We already know that transmission is $500, rent $900, utilities $180, insurance $140, his groceries was $150, gas $75, and that phone bill $80. And let's not forget about that payday loan repayment, $575. Now you may ask yourself, where is Mike supposed to get this extra money from? And that's the real danger, because Mike's budget was already stretched before he borrowed that $500. At this point in Mike's story, he's just like, I borrowed $500. No problem. I'll pay it back when I get paid. Sounds simple, but here's the problem. Most people never calculate what the loan actually costs. They only hear one sentence. It's only $15 for every 100 you borrow. That doesn't sound scary. $15? I'll spend more than that at Chick-fil-A. But that's because the lenders usually only advertise the fee, not the APR. According to NerdWallet, payday lenders commonly charge between $10 to $30 per 100 borrowed on the initial loan. And many payday loans have a repayment window of 14 days. So let's go to Google, look up a payday loan calculator, and calculate how they come up with their APR. So once we click on payday loan calculator, we're going to go to the one for NerdWallet. Once we get on the calculator, we're going to put in the amount that Mike borrowed, $500, And then we're going to put in the fee, the $75. And the loan length was 14 days. And then we're going to calculate and compare what happened. Now, here's how NerdWallet came up to that calculation. Don't panic. We're only doing like fourth grade math. You take the total fee, $75. You divide that by the amount borrowed, $500. That gives you 0.15. Next, you multiply that by 365 days. Then you're going to divide that by the 14-day loan term. Finally, multiply that by 100. And that's how you convert it into the annual percentage rate, also known as APR. So we know that the APR will be 391%. That's high. And we could also see in the first column that he will pay back $575. The second column, under the yellow arrow, you see that the credit card, if he had a credit card, the APR may be 24%, and he will pay back $504.60. And if he can get a personal loan with the APR being 19%, he will pay back $503.64. So the payday loan APR is ridiculous. Now, here's where Mike's story changes. Because payday lenders aren't counting on Mike being bad at math. They're counting on Mike being stressed. Mike doesn't care about the APR today. Mike cares about getting to work tomorrow and making money. That's a huge difference. But here's the trap. 2 weeks go by. Mike's paycheck finally hits, except that transmission still costs $500. Rent is due, insurance due, groceries due, gas didn't magically become free. Now we look at all of Mike's bills. There's still a fee that Mike never counted on being able to pay. Now imagine that Mike can't pay the loan back in full. Depending on the lender, the loan agreement, the state laws, and fees, Mike may be forced to pay additional costs. Some lenders may allow him to roll it over if it's legal in his state. Each payday loan, depending on your state, could be different. But here's what doesn't change. If you're already short on money, adding more fees makes it harder to catch up. It's like trying to climb out of a hole and somebody keeps handing you a heavier backpack each time you get up. That's why most people describe payday lending as a debt cycle. The emergency ends, but the payment doesn't always end with it. Here's something I want everybody to hear. People don't take out payday loans because they're bad with money. That's not true for everybody. They usually take them out because they're out of options. The car won't start, your child needs medicine, your electricity may be getting cut off, and your brain isn't thinking, what's APR? Your brain's thinking, how do I get through today? And that's just human nature. But it's important to slow down enough to think about what you're actually signing. Before taking out a payday loan, see if you have other options. Can I negotiate this payment plan? Could I ask the repair people if they could split the bill into smaller payments? Could I call the credit union to see if they can give me a personal loan with a lower APR? Could I sell something at my house that I don't use to get money to help pay for that repair? Can I ask my employer for an advancement on my paycheck? None of these ideas are perfect, but they may cost less than that payday loan. And if you decide to take the payday loan and it's your only option, do this first. Go to that calculator, enter the amount, enter the repayment window, enter the fees that you know, and know exactly what you're signing up for. Mike didn't make a bad decision because he borrowed $500. He made a decision while he was desperate and needed the repair on his car. That's a situation that any of us could face. This is why I talk so much on my channel about having a high yield savings account and having an emergency fund sitting in that high yield savings account so you can save yourself when things like this happen. It's not about if it's going to happen, it's about when. And having a high yield savings account with 3 to 6 months of your expenses in an emergency fund can help you save yourself. You are now borrowing from yourself instead of getting a payday loan with high fees that can get you caught in a debt trap. Today, we cover how payday loan fees actually work. If you want to know the difference between a payday loan and a title loan, check out this video right here. And it will let you know what is the difference between the two and which one may be a better option if you have no other options. The lesson of all this is to understand the true costs before borrowing money, because fast money is often very expensive money. A few minutes of understanding the math today will save you months of financial stress down the road. Don't forget to check out my free budget template at this site right here, because if you don't assign your money will disappear. And remember, the more money you have, the more options you have. If this video helped you understand payday loan fees, hit the like button. Share this with somebody that can help. And don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate your support. And you already know. Until next time.